Those who control and use their minds escape my web. Those are the words of the devil from Outwitting the Devil, and today that's what we're going to talk about. Hey, Kathie Owen here, certified fitness trainer and mindset coach since 2002, teaching Stop the Mind Screw, transforming lives in what appears to be magic fashion. We're in the middle of discussing Outwitting the Devil, an awesome book. Highly recommend it. Links in the description below to the book and more. We're going to talk about habits today. More specifically, your thought habits. After my divorce and the custody battle, I suffered with very severe depression. I have a diagnosis of complex post-traumatic stress disorder, so it's no wonder I was depressed. I had a lot of negative thoughts going on, and I had a desire to feel happy again. I was in physical pain due to the depression, and my self-talk was a huge pity party. It sucked. I was stuck in the victim-victimizer cycle that my therapist Sherry taught me about, and I'll put a picture of it right here. So I was stuck internally with a victim mentality, and I would also come back and victimize myself, and that was that circle 8 at the bottom of the triangle. And I didn't know how to get out of it. My self-talk was sabotaging me, and my depression was spiraling out of control. Like the devil talks about in Outwitting the Devil. He talks about that spiral, like you see a drain of water going down. He says that that's what happens when we don't control our minds and our habits. If we don't control our minds, we get sucked into the hypnotic rhythm, which is a law of nature. And we can use that to our advantage or use it to our disadvantage. And at this point in time, when I was suffering with depression, severe depression, I got sucked down into that tunnel. And yes, depression, I still get depressed from time to time. But let me tell you about the difference between severe depression and just everyday regular depression. Everyday regular depression is how we can get in touch with our feelings. We need to feel that. That is a normal everyday expression. And you want to feel those emotions because they are there for a reason. And most likely they're there to teach you something, but you don't want to just suppress them. And that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about severe depression, which is an ongoing cycle, and you get sucked down into that, what the devil calls that funnel. So my new opportunity was to start thinking like Victor at the top of the triangle. And to think like Victor, you've got to have conversations with the victim mentality and the victimizer mentality. And you've got to understand why they're there and what they're causing in your life. Because it was just a huge pity party. I was just sitting around in my mind, pity party, pity party, pity party. And it was just gloom and doom. But we have power over that. We have power over our minds, and we can control that. One time when I was really depressed, I started listening to Abraham Hicks. And Abraham Hicks on YouTube is one of the best things you can do to get yourself back into Victor. Because what they do is they talk about how those feelings are normal. They are normal. And they are also what they call a contrast. So you have over here, you have the positive feelings, and over here, you have the depressed feelings. And you want to get to the positive feelings or the victor mindset. How does one do that? Well, Abraham Hicks talks about this 17-second rule. And she says to start thinking and start listening to what's going on around you just for 17 seconds and focus on something positive. That can be your pet, that can be the beautiful weather that you're having that day, but if you stay there for 17 seconds, it will expound. And that is how we get back into Victor. Now, when you suffer from major depression like I was, I had to do this often and regularly. And I had to sit down and have conversations with myself in my mind. And don't think it's crazy because we all talk in our mind all the time. But these conversations brought me back into power and took me up the levels of consciousness where I wasn't in victim mentality anymore. I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't hurt anymore. And it felt so much better. And it was such a relief. We all have feelings. We all have emotions. You want to feel those. You want to work with those. And what I'm talking about here will also get you out of the victimizer mentality and into Victor. And Victor feels everything. They feel the positive, they feel the negative. However, to really keep out of the mind screw, you want to think in the positive. You want to have a positive mindset. Otherwise, the devil will get you. So, thought habits. What are your thought habits? You don't want to slip into the hypnotic control of the devil. And that's all he wants. And he's going to try to get you. That's temptation. So think of your thought habits and what are they? Are they powering or disempowering? And when you look at it from that perspective, it shifts everything. So become aware of your thought habits and what you're thinking, and it will shift. Like Abraham Hicks says in that 17-second rule, it shifts. Are you on my email list? If not, you better sign up. Sign up in any of these links right here. I have a reality transurfing link that teaches you what Stop the Mind Screw teaches and reality transurfing. And I also have a link on a mental diet. A mental diet is just becoming aware of the thoughts you're thinking and how to transform them and help them empower you instead of disempower you. I also have a fitness link where I teach Stop the Mind Screw and fitness. It's all a mindset, all of it. Be sure to subscribe today, and I hope to see you there. Have a great day. Peace out. What happens is when you get stuck in that victim mentality, you're in the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind takes everything literally. So if you're sitting there telling your mind, oh my God, this is horrible, this is doom, this is gloom, this is bad, it's going to believe you. And then it's going to bring it to light. But we need to make friends with our subconscious mind because that is where your power lies. That's where your power lies. So when you become aware of your thought habits and you start to shift that mindset, it changes everything. A good way to do this is to be aware of your routines, and your morning routine is one of the best. That's one of the things that I teach in Stop the Mind Screw is a dedicated morning routine. And that morning routine will bring you back into power instead of victim mentality. And it's a habit. It becomes a habit. What is a habit? A habit is something that happens unconsciously. And when you train your mind to do the positive habits, you shift. Remember, the devil himself said, those who use and control their minds escape my web. Wouldn't you want to do that? Those routines and training your subconscious mind set you up for success. Because guess what happens when you're in a positive mindset? Synchronicities happen all the time. They're going on all the time, but when you're in a negative mindset, you're going to not see them. Wouldn't you want to see those positive things coming to light? Wouldn't you want them to be there? Yeah, me too. So what happens when you follow this process is death to the hypnotic rhythm of the devil. Wow. So last week or the week before, we talked about definiteness of purpose. And definiteness of purpose is basically just knowing what you want. So let's go to the depression. In depression, I wanted out of the pain and agony I was feeling. So define exactly what you want. And when you define what you want, at least you have definiteness of purpose. Number 2 is go on a mental diet. Become aware of what you're thinking. Those negative thoughts, they're going to come. We are human. They come. But what you do is you let them go. You release them. You don't dwell on them. Number 3 is self-talk. How are you talking to yourselves? How are you having those conversations in your mind that are powering or disempowering? After you've done the mental diet, it's easy to slip into this and go, oh, wow, that was a disempowering self-conversation I just had. So, whoop, gonna let that go. Number 4, what are your habits? What are your routines? What are your thought habits? That's what we're talking about today. So become aware of those and shift them. Number 5 is revision and healing. When you're depressed, you need to heal from those feelings. How do we heal? We heal mind, body, and soul. And I did a video on this not too long ago, and I'll put a link up here so you can go watch it after this video. There'll also be a link in the description below. Revision is the pruning shears of revision, as Neville Goddard teaches. And that is just simply when you're in a state akin to sleep, you revise your day. You revise things where you were reactive into ways that you wanted it to be. And it does make a shift in your subconscious mind, which is where your power lies. In the end, step number 6 is you get into flow, you get into a zone, and your thoughts are spot on. All right, that's my video for today. I hope you liked it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up if you did and share it with somebody who could benefit. And until next time, I'll see you next time. Peace out and namaste. I was stuck in what my therapist would call the victim-victimizer cycle. And I was all doing that within. Again, I'm not talking about everyday feelings and emotions. I'm talking about severe depression. We all suffer from some type of see them. Wouldn't you want to see them? They're just there all the time.